Good afternoon, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission. It is Thursday, January 15th. May we have roll call, please?
Commissioners Derhovanesian.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Oshagan.
Yes.
Sharikian.
Yes.
Chairperson Deaver.
Here.
The agenda for the January 15th meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside City Hall on January 9th, 2015.
Next item.
Item 2, consent items. At 2A, approval of meeting minutes from December 18th, 2014.
Great, and asking if there are any changes. I know I have one correction on the minutes on page 2, section 5A. It's the last bullet point. There's just a quick little typo in the second to last line. Balance be rolled by to the discretionary fund. Just a clarification on that. But then more importantly, on item 2, it states that Chairperson Deaver made an appointment with regard to the performances at the Brand Library and Art Center, and that actually we did a call for commissioners that were interested, but did not actually make an appointment at that time. So I wanted to make that correction. Are there other corrections or on the minutes? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes with correction.
Second.
And second, roll call, please.
Commissioners Derhovanesian.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Oshagan.
Yes.
Sharikian.
Yes.
Chairperson Deaver.
Yes. And next item.
Item 3, introductions and presentations. At 3A, Library Arts and Culture events presented by Chuck Wyke, Community Relations Manager.
Good afternoon, Chair Deaver, and Commissioners, staff. I've got some great events coming up at the library, the Central Library and Brand Library in particular. But first I wanted to alert you, we've updated one of the pages on the Arts and Culture Commission website, and that's the one for artist opportunities. There's actually a couple of really neat opportunities out there for artists. One in particular is with a fundraiser for the Glendale Youth Alliance, the GYA. They have an annual art exhibit fundraiser. They're going to hold it at Forest Lawn, and they're looking for artwork to be submitted by the end of this month, and that's on the Arts and Commission website. So you can get to that if you go to glendalepubliclibrary.org and just look to the left and scroll down to the Arts and Commission page. The other call for artists, interestingly, is for utility box artwork, but this is in the Glassell Park neighborhood south of us in Los Angeles, so you have to be a Glassell Park or a resident to participate in that, but we certainly have people who visit us from Glassell Park. So there's that. So for the library, our upcoming holidays this weekend will be closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday. We are, of course, open on the web, and you can even download a book or look at some information. I'll make note of it at the end, but we do still lend iPads now, so you can come into any of our libraries, borrow an iPad, and do business, read some books. So first of all, there's a big art, music, book, print, CD sale at Brand Library coming next week, January 20th through 24th, the entire week. And I've seen pictures on their Facebook page. It's not just books and prints and CDs. There are also musical instruments. There's, for some reason, a number of pretty good-looking percussion instruments and paraphernalia that you might want to pick up. So musicians in particular might be interested. And that's, again, January 20 through 24th at the Brand Library. Also starting next week and running through March 9th, we have highlights from the Jane Friend Purchase Award Collection. This is a 44-year retrospective. The Brand Associates collect a piece of artwork every year, and they've done that for 44 years. It's an evidence of the contribution of the Brand Associates and what they've made to the arts in Glendale since their founding in 1969, both through their sponsorship of their annual exhibition and also the library's dance, music, and art programs. The works will be installed over this weekend, and I believe there'll be an article in the Glendale News Press pretty soon. You can read a little bit more about it. Jane Friend's a longtime Brand Associates representative. Over 40 years, she was kind of in charge of the annual juried exhibition that they have every year. So it has her name on it, and again, there's 4 decades of artwork that will be out in the gallery hallways. That's where that artwork's going to be. William Bradley is an author who's coming to the Central Library on January 21. He's going to talk about his really wonderful book highlighting 75 years of history of the Los Angeles train depot in downtown LA. It's called Tracks to the Future. So there's quite a bit of architecture that he talks about. He talks about the history, this is the last great train station in the United States. And he not only talks about that history, but also the evolution and what it's become today as a transportation hub, metro, trains, and so forth. So he'll be at the Central Library on January 21st. Shield and Spear, the Brand Associates have their Real Art film series. This movie will be shown on January 22nd. And a little bit about Shield and Spear. It explores stories about identity, art, race, and freedom of expression in South Africa today, 20 years into democracy. A Hollywood Reporter said, introducing outsiders to a creative scene seemingly far more vibrant than most of us realized. The movie is brimming with art, music, and activism, despite widespread disappointment with those leading its government. Another little bit of transportation, we're going to have a number of electric cars at the Central Library on Saturday, January 24th. We've got an author who wrote a book called What is the Electric Car? I think we are all pretty familiar with those now, but we're actually going to have a half dozen vehicles sitting out in front of the library. We'll block off the parking lot, and you'll be able to, sadly, with no test driving, you'll just be able to walk up and look at them. But there's a little video, and evidently the co-authors, there's a number of essays in the book about electric cars. The co-authors are all driving their electric cars or motorcycles to the Central Library that day. That's Saturday the 24th. Book Smarts, it's a lecture series up at Brand Library. They have a real interesting one called The Art of Mistakes with author Melanie Rothschild. That's Saturday, January 24 at 3 p.m. up in the Brand Library Recital Hall. Melanie's going to discuss her book, Art of Mistakes, with a subtitle, Unexpected Painting Techniques and the Process of Creative Thinking. A quote from that book, creativity is not just about art. Sometimes it has nothing at all to do with art. Creativity is about how we think, the possibilities we allow into our thinking, and our ability to follow through with action. In just about anything we do, we can think creatively or not. So she will also have a hands-on component to help exercise your creativity. So if you're interested in that, that's up at the Brand Library on the 24th. Our annual bookmark contest starts January 25th, runs through February 7th. It always carries the theme of our summer reading program, and this year it's going to be Read to the Rhythm, so very musical, rhythmic kind of theme. There'll be prizes awarded, well, prizes. We'll choose 3 different bookmarks, one for smaller children, one for a little older children, and one for teens. 3 bookmarks that we will use throughout the year, and I promise you I will bring you samples of all that you can use with your own books. Music Animated with Sarah. Now, we started last year with children's programming up at the Brand Library. So Sarah Quintanar is going to be at the Brand Library on the 31st in the morning. He puts on a real good show. I suspect we'll see her back when summer reading comes around, but this is one of the many programs that we have for children up at Brand Library now. I threw this one in, Tailspin and the Disney Afternoon. The Disney Afternoon 25 years ago started as a 2-hour block of time on various channels that just showed Disney cartoons, like Tailspin. You can see some of Pumbaa is up there. You can see a number of the characters. But we've got some of the artists, the musicians, the composers, and one of the producers at the Central Library on February 7th. They're going to come and talk about 25 years of that work. So if you're interested in animation, that's the place to be. Brand Library consistently has great opera talks. The Los Angeles Opera sends out volunteers every month to talk about whatever opera is going on that month, coming up with the LA Opera. And this will be on February 14th, celebrate Valentine's Day with a talk about the Ghosts of Versailles, Brand Library. Ballet Russe. It's a film, a documentary about the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. So this was a number of performers and choreographers left Russia for a number of reasons, started a ballet company. Originally, this was after the Russian Revolution, this film tells the story of the company with its stars and production, and they say it's, you know, the power games, the rivalries, and everything that marked its turbulent history. It's an intimate portrait of a group of pioneering artists now in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who gave birth to modern ballet. One of those ballerinas chosen to perform with the Ballet Russe at age 12 was Irina Boranova. And her biography will be discussed at the same evening, again Thursday, February 19th at Brand Library. What's interesting, maybe to many people about this, is that her daughter is actress Victoria Tennant. She was born in Great Britain, but her mother was one of those premier ballerinas with the Ballet Russe. So Victoria will be at the Brand Library. Those of you who have any interest in a variety of things. It's a maelstrom of crazy stories told by these ballet personnel, looking back over 50, 60 years of work. Victoria just happened to have this book about her mother also. So we're really excited about that. Finally, Take Me Home. I mentioned that we have iPads. You can borrow them at any of our libraries. You can take them home for 3 weeks. You can read your books. You can play around with them. We give a class, kind of a drop-in class every Tuesday morning. One gentleman came in this last Tuesday. He has a Mac computer at home, but he didn't have an iPad. He wants to learn it. He borrowed one of ours, and he sat for an hour and a half with our staff figuring out how to use the thing. I think he'll probably buy one day, but this is certainly a good way to get your feet wet. Decide if you want one of these devices. And that should do it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. White?
No questions, but just a comment. I'm really honored and surprised to see this rich program within less than 30 days a lot of things going on, and this is a very big bravo. Thank you very much. Yes.
Great. Thank you. And next item?
Item 4, oral communications. Discussion is limited to items not on this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. The commission may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The commission may refer the matter to city staff for investigation and report.
Thank you. And I do have one card for Elisa Glickman, if you'd like to come forward, please.
I Hi, Happy New Year, Commissioner Deaver, members of the Arts and Culture Commission. I am here today. My name is Lisa Glickman. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Glendale Arts, which is the management company of the Alex Theater. I'm here today to brag a little bit about all of our upcoming events. Starting next week, we are kicking off the new year with several school productions of Shakespeareans, which is an outside group that comes in and covers Macbeth to Taming of the Shrew, and gives all of these students a taste of what Shakespeare is all about and hopefully wets their whistle for further Shakespearean investigation. We also have the National Shanghai Circus this year, as well as a production of Les Miserables coming in January. We are very proud, and before I forget, the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra is bringing back their Schubert and Vivaldi performance on January 24th. Glendale Arts is also producing 2 shows in January and February. One is a tribute to the Nicholas Brothers, the great dance duo team that pretty much got their start around the same time the Alex Theater opened. And one of the Nicholas Brothers actually performed on our stage in 2001. It was almost close to one of his last performances. So it'll be a fantastic tribute. And then one of the other programs that we're so pleased with and so proud of is our production of Billy Elliot, which we are partnering with the Downtown Glendale Association and the very well-respected McCoy Rigby Entertainment. And I'm thrilled to say that our Billy Elliot just got off the national and UK tour. So he is a phenomenal talent, and we are looking forward to having that production on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of February. So you can always go to alextheater.org to see what other events are coming up, but that will just wet your whistle a little bit for January and February.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions, comments?
As usual,
Dr. Vanessian?
as usual, you know, we are very proud of whatever is being produced, especially during the last maybe a year or two, actually. We see so much more that's happening at the Alex. It is our pride and joy, and we are very proud of all the presentations. We get all the information via our email, which is great, and it always astounds me to see how much work is being put there. So thank you.
I will let my small but mighty staff know. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Great, very great variety of exciting events coming up, so I'm hoping everybody gets out for that. Great, thank you. Next item.
Item 5, business agenda. At 5A, action items. 5A1, nomination and election of new chairperson and vice chairperson.
Commissioner Deaver and Commissioners, staff is recommending that the Arts and Culture Commission select a chairperson and vice chairperson to serve a 1-year term beginning this month, January 2015. I will describe the process with you. It does follow Robert's Rules of Order and your Arts and Culture Commission Rules of Order and City Practice. Once chairperson and vice chairperson have completed a term, neither may serve in the same capacity in the next calendar year. So following my introduction, the chairperson shall open the floor for nominations for the position of chairperson and receive nominations from the commissioners. A commissioner may be nominated by another commissioner or may nominate him or herself. The motion to nominate an individual does not require a second. Once all the nominations have been made, the chairperson will close the floor to nominations. At this point, a majority of the commissioners may request that the candidate provide a verbal statement regarding their qualifications or interest in the chair positions. If the commissioners wish to hear a statement, it is appropriate for one of the commissioners to make a motion requesting such. The motion would need to be seconded and voted upon. If the motion is approved by a majority of the commission or by unanimous consensus, then each candidate could provide a verbal statement in the order in which they were nominated. So for voting, once the nominations and statements have been received, the selection of an officer is decided by a majority affirmative vote of the quorum, that is 3 affirmative votes. Voting is generally conducted as a roll call vote. If there's only one candidate nominated for the chairperson position, each commissioner replies with either a yes or no during the roll call vote. If the candidate receives at least 3 affirmative votes, that candidate will become the chairperson and no further votes will be taken. If the candidate does not receive at least 3 affirmative votes, the nominations will reopen and the process will repeat. If more than one candidate has been nominated for the chairperson position, a roll call vote is called, and each commissioner then states the name of the nominated individual for whom they wish to vote. Candidates must receive a quorum of affirmative votes, again, 3 affirmative votes, in order to be selected. And then the commission shall follow the same procedure for the selection of the vice chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you for that very thorough description of our process. Appreciate it. So with that, I do open the floor for nominations. Commissioner Lee.
I want to nominate Commissioner Derhavanessian.
Are there other nominations on the floor?
Question.
Yes.
Do we have a vice chair currently?
We do not. That was implemented at this past spring when we adopted our rules and regulations. We introduced the vice chair position. Are there other nominations? Then
I'll nominate Haride.
Commissioner Shirikian? Mm-hmm. So we have 2 nominations on the floor for Commissioner Derhavanessian and Commissioner Shirikian. And are there any other nominations on the floor? Then with that, we have 2 nominations that have been put forward, and the next question I have for you all is whether we would like to have a statement for the nominations, in which case we would need to have a motion for that and a roll call on that. So is there a motion to request that there be statements?
I cannot make a motion. May I? I mean, for myself, to make a motion for myself to speak? I don't think I can make a motion to...
You can make, if you would like to make, if you would
if
like
it's
to
a tradition, if it's a tradition, I don't mind. If it's not a tradition, then I wouldn't mind.
It's within the rules. I don't know whether we have traditionally done it or not, but it's certainly within your absolute right to make a call for that if you'd like.
I don't see it necessary at this point.
Okay. Any other commissioners requesting that there be a statement? All right. With that, I'm going to close the floor to nominations, and we will have a roll call vote, at which point each of the commissioners would please name the commissioner that they choose for the chair position. And again, it's Commissioner Derhavanessian and Commissioner Shirikian. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioners Derhavanessian.
You
Vote for yourself.
You vote for typically people vote for themselves, but you may do whatever you'd like.
Well, I've always abstained or I've always declined, but the time has come maybe that I should take the challenge, as I was advised by a friend that you need to go in life for things that you're trying to avoid, because that's a learning process. And this is such a friendly, collegial group of people that I thought maybe this could be the arena which could help me kind of go for that, because I have the seniority and I've done that for being on this commission for 10 years.
I'm going to interrupt briefly, only because now we're getting into statements. No, that's okay, but I'm taking that, the call is for, who would you like?
I could go for myself.
You're starting with roll call, please.
Lee?
Commissioner
Derhavanessian.
Derhavanessian.
Oshagan?
Commissioner Shirikian.
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 Chairperson Deaver.
Commissioner Derhavanessian. And with that, I'll make that call that there is 3 in the affirmative for Commissioner Derhavanessian. And with that, I will turn over the gavel to Chair Derhavanessian to conclude the election process with our co-chair. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I need a lot of support in as far as the way we have to address things, because I've never gone for that, but sorry for all the moves. Thank you. Now, procedurally, what do I have to say at this point?
So you'll want to open the nominations for the
Vice chair.
for the vice chair position, correct?
Now, I would like to open the nominations for the vice chair.
Commissioners Deaver,
It's for whether we're putting nominations on the table, I believe. So it's not a roll call on it.
No.
Not yet.
We need to nominate.
Correct.
We start with,
We would require that somebody put forward nominations for the co-chair or self-nominations for the co-chair position.
Makes sense.
Sorry, vice chair. I'm saying co-chair.
vice chair.
I'll nominate myself.
Next. Any other nominations for vice chair? So there's only one, and then let's have the roll call.
Commissioners Deaver,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Oshagan,
Yes.
Shirikian,
Yes.
Chairperson Derhovanesian.
Yes. So now we have Commissioner Lee as the vice chair for the year 2015 for the Arts and Culture Commission.
You can call for next item.
Let's go for the next item.
At 5A2, appointment of liaison to Glendale Arts Board of Directors.
All right, again, you could switch your nameplates too.
That is confusing, isn't it? Thank you.
Yes. Chair Hovanesian, Commissioners, staff is recommending the Commission appoint a new liaison to the Glendale Arts Board of Directors. The past appointee, Arman Kivanian, has vacated his seat on the Commission. So the Glendale Arts Board of Directors meets the second Tuesday of every other month at noon. The next meeting is on March 10th, and the Glendale Arts Board normally rotates between the Alex Theater and their offices on 116 West California. I've got information about parking and so forth, but your contact, should you choose to serve on this, would be our own Elisa Glickman, the CEO of Glendale Arts. So, per the Glendale Arts bylaws, the Arts and Culture Commission liaison is not considered a member of their board, or his or her participation is not counted toward a quorum. Rather, the role is for information gathering and presentation only. And although the commission liaison will not be a voting member of this board, it is desirable that the appointee take an active role in discussions and also in the committee structure if they so desire. The position is one of 3 non-voting seats on the board, and there is no fiscal impact associated with this report.
I suppose now we should let and see if there's anybody who's interested within our commission to go as a liaison, and then we will appoint the person. Any individual interested in that? I mean, has the time. I'm sure we are all interested. It's just if they have the time and they can afford that time to go and participate. Could I appoint somebody at this point?
Actually, I think
Because,
I'd be interested.
That sounds very good. You made my job the first day
I
task.
made it easier for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Since Commissioner Oshagan is interested, and he's an artist himself, and he is well known in the community. He's very involved in art. He has excellent, innovative ideas. Within the recent meetings, we have come to get to know about him. So we would like to appoint Commissioner Oshagan as our liaison to the Glendale Arts. Any motion?
So I will move that the appointment of Commissioner Oshagan to the Glendale Arts Board as our liaison.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Now for the roll call, please.
Commissioners Deaver,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Oshagan,
Yes.
Sharikian,
Yes.
Chairperson Derhovanesian.
Yes.
Item 6, Commission Staff Comments.
I just want to make mention that we had received, well, I think the city received or was in contact with a gentleman by the name of Corey Howard who does an event called Campfire Ball. And he does that now inaugurally over at the Golden Road Brewery, which at the time of his contact that I talked to him, he actually, and it's the City of Los Angeles officials apparently also thought that they were in Glendale, which in some ways could happily just allow that to continue. But and nonetheless, he had invited somebody from City of Glendale to come to his inaugural event over there, which I did attend and on behalf of as a neighboring city. And I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was a really great variety type of show that this young artist and gentleman has taken from his backyard, which he's been producing for 2 years, and has now introduced this to our neighbor facility. And I'm hoping that we will be able to bring the likes of him and others similarly into the city of Glendale. The event included a Native American performer. It included some just fun, silly events like trying to break a world record with dental floss, where a number of people on one dental floss string, and a parachute where everybody's running under the parachute like you did as a kid. And it was all in good fun. It was extremely clever, and a lot of young folks involved in that. So I just wanted to share that because I thought it was just a really fun thing, and they were thinking of Glendale, and hopefully we'll get more of that energy here in our own city.
Any other interesting topics you want to share?
A couple of things I want to mention, if you don't mind. One is, first of all, I want to congratulate our chairwoman, Arlette. I'm sure we can do a lot this year. Second, also, Mr. Stephen, as a vice chairman. On the other hand, last week, or earlier this week, we talked about certain events and certain planning. Are we going to continue discussing that in a special meeting, or it's going to be continuation maybe in February meeting?
A continuation in February.
February meeting.
We'll have quite a full agenda in February.
Meanwhile, if we will probably, you ask us to email you some ideas or information which is
Right.
helpful.
We will do that soon.
I just want to comment one thing regarding the pop-up art. Lately, I'm sure you guys also on YouTube that pop-up performances you see in the airports, shopping centers, shopping malls. It's amazingly attractive. Is it something we can, is it within our limits that we can hire a company or a group? I don't know, we can do that. And that's amazingly, it's very rewarding for the whole community.
I think, Commissioner Sharikian, I think that the last meeting we talked at a very high level, and so over the next several months we'll be talking about more of the details of each program. So we'll have an opportunity at that point.
Okay. During last meeting, the last minute, I was mentioning that I attended the movie Dadevik, which was Tevani, which was very nice and very storytelling in 3-part. I attended, I enjoyed the evening, and I just want to share the experience that I had over there. It was a full house, and the director himself, he talked very detailed about the event, the movie preparation. He has done a lot of documentaries, and he has another movie, The Last Inhabitant, which will be released by next year, or this year, I'm not sure, but he wants to come back to Glendale and at least have a red carpet, which he will let us know by then. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other ideas? Any other experiences?
I just, on behalf of the staff and on the city, I want to thank Commissioner Deaver for her tenure as our chairperson. It's obviously been a stellar year, or over a year actually, since you've been chair, and you have a lot of accomplishments under your belt, and we've all appreciated working with you. So thank you for your service as chairperson, and congratulations to Chairperson Derhovanesian. We're really looking forward to working with you as well as the entire commission, but congratulations.
Thank you very much. I also would like to say that, it's very hard to feel a person like Chairperson Deaver's shoes. She has done a fantastic job. The way she handles everything so gracefully, I have to learn a lot, and I hope that she would promise to help me on that, because, I'm more flamboyant, I'm more getting into the passion of the things, but I need to keep things under control, and that's a learning experience I need to do. And as I said, this is such a friendly and good collegial group of people that I hope I'll do, and that's a learning experience. I think actually I've learned that from Commissioner Shurikian too. He was saying that, to be a chair is something you learn to do. It's something that he would like to have it under his belt, and hopefully he would have it next time. So thank you again, Commissioner Deaver, and thank you to the city. I hope I'll do my best, and I'll have the support of each and every one of you. I need your guidance as anything, because this is a new situation for me. I've always kind of led people who are working for me. I've never led or kind of moderated a group of people that are of the same status. So this is a new learning, and as I was explaining to another friend, that I've always tried to be the first person to say what I think. Now I have to learn to curb it and give chance to everybody else and be the last. So that is major. I suppose my husband would appreciate that very much also. So, a level of levity also hides the kind of stress which I like usually to incorporate in whatever I do. So, with your friend, I hope I'll do whatever this commission and our community deserves.
I'd like to make
I want to remind something. So go ahead first.
I want to congratulate also Arlette for being nominated and Steve. I'm sure we're going to have a very, very interesting and productive year ahead of us. I had a question. I would like to show things to the commission at a future meeting. Is that possible to do that, to show images on the board and be able to interact and speak about things? Yeah? I'm not sure if this is the place for this question, but...
Unrelated to the commission actions?
No.
Yeah.
Directly related to our arts programming.
Yeah, no, at any time that you'd like any kind of report and any kind of visual, we're happy to accommodate. Mm-hmm. Next month, we will do several presentations like that. But as I said, anytime you want to suggest something else, we're here to listen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Could I add on something? To be able to do it procedurally right, you need to let the staff to know ahead of time so they could put it in their agenda. And also, if it's something visual, they will have GTV6 also prepped if it's something that they have to use with their cameras and etc. So just make it ahead of time, and they would accommodate according to the agenda item. That would work.
Just want to remind one last thing, that we are getting together next Tuesday. The city council is inviting us for a get-together down hall, I guess. Just to remind us of...
City clerk's office.
Yes. Yeah.
Downstairs in the lobby, I think they want to thank all the commissioners in the city who are doing such a dedicated hard work, and there is no personal gains in the jobs we do, and it's just they want to say their thank you. And it's nice that if you have nothing else to do and you could arrange the time to be there, that would be great. And they serve also hors d'oeuvres, I think. I don't know, last year they did, in case. With that, any other issues? I think if there isn't, now it's time to adjourn. One more item. Which one is that? Written communications, which we don't have. We?
Let's have it. We want to read it into the record, so just ask for next item, and she'll read it into the record.
Item 7, written communications.
No, none.
Item 8, adjournment.
Okay.
Use your gavel. Use your gavel for the first time.
Good job.